currencies.
Just currency wars.
Yeah, exactly. That's what, and you throw these words at us that people don't know what they mean: austerity, quantitative easing, currency wars. So people don't really get what's going on. But watch it. We're all connected. What's happening in Cyprus, where the people are lining up in front of the ATMs, which aren't giving any money anymore, and they're trying to use their credit cards to buy things, and now stores aren't taking credit cards there. That's going to happen here.
Won't it be fun? We'll have to get to know each other,
now
everybody.
For some enlightenment.
We'll have to become friends again. Our banker is no longer our best friend. The stock market no longer loves us. So what we have to do is organize ourselves in a consciousness, feel the flow of understanding between it, because it's inevitable, the same as what Sean's saying, and James is saying, and you're saying, and you're saying, and I haven't heard a damn thing you said.
Oh. Well, I would like to say something.
Please.
I want you to take stock in yourself, because when there is no currency, the only currency we're going to have left is our energy. What can you do? What can you contribute? Who are you connected with that you can talk to? Do you trust yourself, let alone your neighbors? It's now time to buy stock in yourself. What can you contribute? Currency will be energy. No more paper.
Now. Currency is energy.
Yes, but I'm saying soon it'll be just what you have.
It's like if you can ask people. Let me interject here. If you ask people, what do you want most of all? You have three wishes, and people say, and you say you can't wish for $1 million. You can't wish for money, and people go, I want $1 million. Well, how about I want to wake up every day to be of service so that money. Here's something for you. Ready? Because you guys are all stressed out. Everybody take a deep breath. Uncross your legs for a second. Uncross your legs for a second. Take a deep breath. Okay. And I want you to say this. Money flows easily and freely to me. Money flows easily and freely to me. One more time. Money flows easily and freely to me under perfect guidance and perfect will. See? Don't you feel better? Don't you feel better? All right, hold on 1 second. And to answer the gentleman's question in the back, one of the things that's going on here is that corporations are doing fine. Corporations are doing better than they have ever done. Us are not doing so good. Because now what's happening is we're working longer, we're working harder, we're working more efficiently, and the price index for us has gone up less than 4%. And to give you an idea, inflation is going up at a rate of anywhere between 8 and 12%. We don't even know anymore because they don't even put the Federal Reserve note on the M3 index to tell you how many are in circulation. Ben Bernanke printed $15 trillion out of thin air. He gave $5 trillion up to the Queen of England because she needs a new hat. And China, another $5 trillion. $3 trillion of it went to the European banks. $1 trillion went to J.P. Morgan, and $1 trillion went to Goldman Sachs. That's a fact. And the Congress asked him, how can you do this when you're devaluing the dollar? And he basically went, screw you. It's our money. We can do what we want with it. They're privately printed, irredeemable promissory notes. We're a private company, and we can print as many of our private bills as we like. We don't care that you use it as a currency. We can do anything we want to do. And as the real rate of unemployment
24%
is way high. So
what's the use of having a lot of money and you're laying dead on your goddamn back in the hospital?
But again, here's the challenge. The challenge is again the reason your work is worth less is because your jobs are being outsourced, via the internet, if you will. So they have more PhDs and 4.0 valedictorian kids in India than we have children here. So and to give you an idea, when you can have,
but they're not as cool as us.
Yeah, exactly.
We're cool.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let's get off this. Anybody have like a non-money question here? Let's have We've had let's have the nice lady there. Yes, ma'am. The nice lady there. Yes, you just raised your hand. Yes, ma'am. You want to go back to the sky or this guy? Oh, this guy. Okay. All right. Mr. Brinkley. Yes. Okay.
Coast to coast.
And allowing Earthlings time to become more brotherly and loving and straighten out the situation and issues here on Earth.
Okay, there's a planet in between here and the Earth and the Sun, and it's allowing us to become more brotherly and more loving. And I'm just repeating it for the tape. Well, we do have like 3 comets coming through the solar system. Is that what you're talking about? The comet? There's the. Okay.
It seems to have some sort of intelligence because it's paused.
Right.
And once it continues on, I understand we will have catastrophic events like earthquakes.
God, that's exciting.
Well, I haven't heard anything about that, but take a microphone, James.
I think that most of you are going by science, and that when it gets to the upper realms of spiritual knowledge and wisdom, because our science has not the ability to be able to track such a planet as she's speaking. First of all,
In this dimension.
Yeah, in this dimension. That's what I'm about to talk about. Interdimensional substance. And the planet that you're talking about is a power that has moved through a black hole and is interdimensional. Just like there are alien beings who are interdimensional. They're light benders. They bend. So do planets. We can only understand that which has been given to us or that which has been taught to us. Now, concerning the ability of brotherly love, this is true. The energy is that's being brought forth is to encourage that there will be more love and peace upon the planet, because there is going to be a large devastation. While we were in Florida 2 weeks ago, I spoke about the prophecy of the Mayan calendar that I interpret, that's also copywritten at the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. And that said that North Korea would declare nuclear war upon the United States. 2 days before the actual conference, they actually stepped up to the plate and did so, and it's on my DVD downstairs. I have.
You know why? Because Kim Jong-un spent all that time hanging out with Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then said,
correct.
"What? That wasn't Barack Obama? Oh, you fool me! You fool me!"
Now, those of you, I have the last 10 years of my prophecies on videotape. Not one prophecy that I spoke did not come true, and I'm on videotape. You can come downstairs. Now, there's a difference between making a prediction that doesn't come true versus 10 years of predictions and prophecies that have come true. So that separates the men from the mice right there. And those who are projecting outcome that's not coming. So here's my last word that I want to say about that. And that is that I have been buying food and stocking it up. I've bought a generator that I've been using, and I'm buying gasoline in drums.
And where do you live?
I live in California, but I'm not saying where, because then you ain't going to come over and say, I'm going to James.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So what I'm trying to say real quick, and let me finish. I want to sing Kumbaya with the rest of you and shake hands and rock back and forth, but that's not the way it's going to be. We do have devastation, just like this woman said, that's coming. And we have to either come together as a people of all races, creeds, and colors and agree and touch and agree and repel this negativity or suffer the consequences of nuclear warfare. Now, the thing about people, what they don't understand about North Korea is they don't care if their people die. What they care about is their pride. And pride befalleth a man. And, you know, you get a crazy nut who's over a whole lot of people, push the button. I'll show Obama we meant it. We are proud people. We will die for what we believe.
But, James, you know, watch. If you look at the Middle East and you stop and you take a breath, because it's war, the world peace is what we're talking about today, and we have a year to put our minds, a little over a year, to put our minds in place and our hearts in place. And what you hear on this panel in action, or we're screwed, okay? And we did it to ourselves. But you got to watch the geopolitical structure of what North Korea is.
Yes.
It represents a threat on the peninsula.
Yes.
It represents an exact threat to Japan.
Yes.
Okay? If you take out Japan with some crazy regime, China, other than Taiwan, rules the manufacturing Pacific belt. Period. Okay? So when you watch this, just like Cyprus in the banking system, when you watch this interactive system, remember, if you understood what the Japanese did to the Koreans and took their wives and girls and children and made them sex slaves for the military, and you look at the occupation of Manchuria under the Japanese rule in the 30s and the 40s, and you look at the rape of Nanking and what the Japanese did, do you think those Chinamen are going to forget that?
No, they're not.
You can forget whether they're going to forget it. And so they have a perfect system to create a way over some islands because of oil or natural gas. Okay, so listen, everybody, it's their ego that's being driven, but it's the Chinese who are fundamentally positioning themselves, okay? And that's the only person they can strike. They can strike China, okay? They can strike South Korea, and they can hit Tokyo.
And only on the Strange Universe panel can we go to a mysterious planet between us and the sun and Dennis Rodman. It's only there. Actually, the one other answer to your question, I don't know anything about a planet between here and between here. I haven't
That's
seen anything
dimensionally perceivable.
Dimensionally perceivable. However, photographs have come from people like Jaime Maussan in Mexico, who has a show down there, OVNI, or it's a UFO program there, that beginning in 2010. And you've seen a lot of this actually starting in late 2009 and 2010. In 2009, there was a wave of pyramid-shaped UFOs that began coming across the world, and that were seen at the same time as the Norway spiral occurred, while Obama, oddly enough, was getting the Nobel Peace Prize. In Norway, this weird spiral. I know, I give him some credit for that. But this weird spiral appeared in the sky. At the same time, there was a tetrahedron-shaped object that appeared over Moscow. There have been waves of these not only pyramids, but smaller dodecahedrons that are actually coming out of the main pyramid structures and then satelliting around them. Those have been seen all over. But the biggest thing had to do with a fleet of planet-sized objects. I mean, we're talking about the size of the moon and or Mercury that began to park themselves around the sun that seemed to be doing something to the sun. And
so
I
you
was
think
told,
they appear to be planets?
No, they were planet-sized. They were just huge because they were moving around and doing all kinds of crazy things. They were planet-sized.
There's the answer to your question. There could possibly be planet-sized objects
all the way back,
what you're saying.
all the way back in '95 and '96, when I was working on the Strange Universe TV show. And I was hanging out with my friend Audrey-Ain, who was a Pleiadian contactee who had all kinds of amazing photos down in Miami. He was the one that was saying that the Pleiadians were fixing the sun, that there was something wrong with the sun, and that they were actively fixing the sun. And my opinion has been in my book Sands of Time that the two levels of what's been going on is you have technocrats and autocrats.